What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Slasher44, and today we're making one of my favorite videos of the year. This is where I say hello to the new Call of Duty game and say goodbye to the current Call of Duty game, this being Advanced Warfare. So today we're going to talk about the year, what has gone on during this year, what were the positives of this game, what were the negatives, and what were some of the notable things that happened throughout this game. So, first of all, let's talk about this channel. This is the first year I've ever uploaded like 5 times a week. Strictly a Call of Duty game was this year, and it went really well. I got over 32,000 subscribers in 1 year off of one Call of Duty game. That's thanks to you guys. So before we get into talking about Advanced Warfare too much, I just thank you guys so much for coming, watching, liking every single video. You are what make this rockin' world go around. I love you guys and thank you for that. But let's start talking about Advanced Warfare. So when this game came out, I played with a couple of friends, but overall throughout Advanced Warfare, I mainly played this game by myself, and that was a first, because normally in Call of Duty I play with one, maybe 2 or 3 other people, and it's a lot of fun, but so is playing by yourself, and like, you really get into a game when you play it by yourself. Like, I got really good at this game compared to when I first had the game, and I really enjoyed that, just getting good at the game. Other things with this game were, this game didn't change too much throughout its life cycle. Like, there wasn't too many, like, really notable patches. And what do I mean by this? The power weapons that were good at the beginning of this game were the ones that were good at the end of the game. So, like, if we look back, when the game was first released, the BAL was a beast and a half. They did patch it a little bit, they gave it a little bit of a nerf, but overall, still one of the best guns in the game. One thing you may not notice, though, is when this game first came out, the ASM-1 wasn't nearly as good as it is now. It wasn't the god gun that it is today. They actually patched that and buffed it to kind of make up for how far away it was from the BAL. So then what that did is just kind of made the BAL and the ASM-1 the 2 god guns instead of just having 1 god gun. So really, again, not a notable change. Really leaving 2 weapons very unbalanced, which we're going to talk about later in the negatives of the game. Now, one other thing, probably the biggest thing they changed this year is they added a lot of weapon DLC through advanced supply drops, which weren't originally there at the beginning of this game's lifecycle. They didn't exist. They weren't a thing. When this game first came out, there was just supply drops. I made a video, one of my first videos was telling you guys the fastest way to get them, which I believed at the time, and I still kind of do believe, that you had to run out right at the beginning of a match and just get killed, because for some reason, the way they would trigger was when you would die, not when you'd kill people. Even if you watch one of the first multiplayer trailers for Advanced Warfare, when the guy dies in the trailer, he receives a supply drop, even to that date. So I just found that kind of funny. But they did eventually patch that. It was in the patch notes that they fixed it, and then you got them when you killed people instead of dying, which is probably a good thing, because you don't want people just going out there and dying in your game. But that changed when advanced supply drops came out. It really screwed with the game, I'm not going to lie to you. If supply drops would have just been for aesthetics, that's one thing, and that would still have been fantastic thing to add to the game. And really, that's what Advanced Warfare was. It was an innovator. It completely changed the way people played Call of Duty and changed the way people looked at Call of Duty, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But when they added advanced supply drops, it created a huge gap in players. There was the players that had money to spend on advanced supply drops and the players who didn't. And unfortunately, some of the variants were so good that if you could buy a lot of advanced supply drops, you may happen to get really lucky and just have all the god weapons. And there were god weapons in this game. If you look at the Obsidian Steed, if you look at the Loophole, if you look at the Insanity, yowzas. And I bought a lot of advanced supply drop and I didn't even get an Insanity. So there's that. But let's stop complaining for a minute and talk about what Sledgehammer did right, because they actually did do a lot of things right. This wasn't a this wasn't a Call of Duty ghost. This wasn't a total fail. There was a lot of things good with this game. Like I said before, they were innovators. They changed the way people looked at Call of Duty. And what do I mean by this? Think back to Call of Duty Ghosts. What did everyone say when that game was released? Yeah, it's a Call of Duty game. It's the same thing, but with a different skin on it. What did people say when Advanced Warfare was released? Whoa, there's a skill gap here. It's different. This is no longer a cookie-cutter Call of Duty game. And no one has said that ever since, like, Modern Warfare 2. Like, everyone has always just said, oh, it's the same thing over again. But this one wasn't. So they really did innovate. And they added other things, too. They added supply drops, which we already talked about. And they added the customizable kill streaks, which really flopped. But we'll talk about that in a second. which is really, really good. And then one other thing I'd like to mention is that their maps are actually pretty damn good. Like, there weren't too many maps in this game where I think there was one map in this game where I would go, I don't want to play this. I'm backing out. I'm not playing this map. Like, that's really good for a Call of Duty game. After a whole life cycle, one map being a bad map in my eyes, it's pretty amazing for a team that made their first Call of Duty game. Especially when playing Call of Duty Ghosts, there were 4 maps I enjoyed playing. So that's pretty impressive. Now, overall, let's talk about what the game did wrong, because there's also a lot of things the game did wrong. So like I said, the innovation on the movement was a brilliant idea, and I'm really glad they added it into the game. However, it ended up kind of flopping because it created a skill gap. The first week I played this game, I played against one person who played the game how everyone plays now. What do I mean by this? A week into the game, he was flying through the maps, literally just doing the pogo stick movement that we've come to know in Advanced Warfare, getting around the map 3 times as fast as everyone else. Because at the beginning of this game, everyone was running around like boots on the ground, like a normal Call of Duty game. Well, this guy was flying around the map, getting to people way faster and just killing everyone because he was flying through the air, aiming and shooting, where everyone else was like, why is he up there? He was literally getting like 75 kills a game and like 4 deaths. It was one of the... I thought he was hacking, and then I found out I could do it too. And then eventually everyone did it. But this was a problem because as soon as I bought a SCUF controller and I could jump while aiming and shooting, it wasn't even fair in Advanced Warfare. And this is a problem. Like this movement system, it was too much. It was too fast. Someone should not be flying through the air while shooting. It just shouldn't be a thing. And I'm so grateful that Black Ops 3 is fixing that. But that we'll talk about at the end of the video. But that was one problem with the game. At least they innovated, like I said before, but they created a problem with some of their innovation. And then there was weapon variants. The thing that I thought was the greatest idea ever at the beginning of this game. But then when it came down to just being 100% luck and then people could buy these supply drops, it created some issues, especially because of all the supply drops I bought, I didn't get the best gun in the game, that being the Insanity. So that was really frustrating. And then the final thing I want to talk about is lackluster kill streaks. This is something I have said about since freaking Black Ops 1. If you go back way back and watch some of my Black Ops 1 commentaries, the one thing I complained about in Black Ops 1 is there wasn't any amazing kill streaks. Like, they were alright. I mean, they were better than this game, don't get me wrong, but compared to Modern Warfare 2, there's nothing. Like, look at Advanced Warfare and then look at Black Ops 2. Look at the kill streaks. You have nothing to work towards in this game. You don't have anything fancy. You don't have dogs. You don't have something that's going to get you 6 or 7 kills. And that's a problem because, like I said, I've said it in videos before, it doesn't trigger your reward complex, and that's what Call of Duty is great at. So that was another problem. They tried, like I said, innovation. They tried to innovate, make it so that you could really customize your kill streaks, and it flopped. Like, they just didn't have enough kill streaks. I feel like they focused so heavily on the movement that they forgot to put kill streaks in, and last minute they just were like, throw all these in and make them a little bit different in little ways. Like, I feel like that's what they kind of did. But this is over. This is just what I think about the game. Overall, is it the best Call of Duty ever? God, no. Not even close to like a CoD 4 or a Modern Warfare 2 or a Black Ops 2. Not anywhere near that range. Is it a worse? Is it a Call of Duty Ghosts? No. Not even a little bit. So, overall, I'm really happy with this game. And I think I have you guys to thank for that, because I think making YouTube videos made this Call of Duty a lot better for me. So thank you guys. But we are now moving on to Black Ops 3, and this is so freaking exciting for me. I'm so excited to bring this game to you guys. I have so many videos I plan on uploading. This week is just... I'm going to school right now. I'm working 40 hours a week, and I have Black Ops 3 coming out. I run a second Let's Play channel. Like, I am so busy right now, and then the week after that, Fallout 4 comes out. And this weekend is my girlfriend's birthday, so I'm just so busy, but I am so freaking excited for this game, and I hope you guys are too. There is a lot of stuff I can't wait to show you about Black Ops 3, and I hope you guys are as fully torqued as I am. So, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Get ready for so many Black Ops 3 videos. After this video, it's all about Black Ops 3, so I hope you're, like I said, fully torqued as I am. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. It's the last Advanced Warfare one going up on the channel. And until next time, guys, peace out.